I am so excited to share this video with you guys. It is a long time coming. Nikki and I have talked about doing stuff like this for a really, really long time, and we had so much fun doing it. First of all, let's start off with that. Well, Nikki talks a little bit about her vision for 2025 and some really big changes that are coming for her family. I also share a little bit about our Eric and I's vision for 2025, and as well as just the process of what it's been like being almost 2 years in to trying to have a baby, and just like some of the things that God has been teaching us through all of that. So grab a coffee, grab a blanket, and I don't know, I just hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoy doing it. I think I talked to you a little bit about it. I think it was around my birthday or like a little bit before my birthday. I don't remember. And I was just saying how 2024 felt like such a hard year. Mm-hmm. There's so many different things with our blah, blah, blah. We don't need to get into that. Mm-hmm. And I remember around that time I prayed and I was like, God, I hope that the year ends better. Or I think I was just praying that God, I don't know if I told you this, that he would just help the year to end better than it started, but I didn't have a lot of hope that it was going to be like that.
Oh yeah, I don't think you did tell me that.
Okay. It's a little depressing, but I was just praying that something good would happen in the end of the year. And I don't think at the time, I think we were talking about going to Florida, but I don't think we actually had planned it yet. So we drove through the night. I drove for like only lasted like 2 hours because I was so tired because I had whatever. It was like 4 a.m, I think. And I remember just, this is so dramatic, but I remember just like pulling into Florida, the sign, and there was like a bridge. And then all of a sudden, there's those trees. What are those trees? Palm trees. There's palm trees. It's a Florida sign, palm trees, and something like Amy switched. And I was like, I don't know. This is so dramatic. But I started to cry.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Cry.
And I was like, holy crap. And it literally, I was telling Eric, it felt like a bomb went over my heart.
Oh, wow.
Like, which is so weird. And we had the best time. And I thought about you every single day. And I literally I literally was like, when I heard, I think I told you this, when I heard your mom was coming.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. I was like, God, that would be so cool if Nikki was surprising me and not telling me. And then
I would love to one of these days.
One of these days. And then I was outside like every second that I could be outside.
Fun.
It literally was like, it felt like my heart and Eric's heart, which was shocking because Eric is usually rushing to come home. Mm-hmm. And I was the one that was like, okay, I think we should leave. He was living his best life, which was insane.
That is insane because doesn't he usually get like stir crazy and need to like do something?
Yes, Nikki. Yeah. Literally. And it got like sadder and sadder. Wow. This is so stupid, but so first Ted and Lydia left. And I was like, we got to get out of this house because it doesn't feel the same without them. Then our Airbnb ended and we went to my parents. And then my sisters left. Yeah. And I was like even more sad. I was like, Eric, we got to go home. And he was like, no. So we stayed till Friday. I was ready to come home I was actually ready to come home Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
I came home Friday. But it just felt like my heart was just like healing. Which is so dumb. God could have done it here. I know that. But
yeah, but he did it in like one of your favorite places.
Yeah.
But
I would never want to live there because I don't want the magic to leave.
That's true. See, me, I would rather go there, soak up all the magic I possibly can, and like binge a little bit.
Yes.
And then probably never want to go back. Like,
never want to go back or never want to live there?
Never want to go back. I don't know. I just like, Arla and I are both that way. Like, if something is fun or great or amazing, we want it all immediately right away. It's not great.
But you're like,
I know, it's so not great.
No, that's not bad.
But anyways, that's so wise, though. That's what I was thinking.
You were literally like this podcast that I listened to. She was talking about the same thing because you're never promised the same experience twice. So what if you go back again and you have a horrible experience and that place will be, is tainted a bad word?
No. I think it's just taint.
Oh my gosh. Are we allowed to leave that in
there? Okay. So I guess I will start with the ending. I will start with the ending of 2024, but I'll start with like the very ending. So I randomly decided to do carnivore on the day after Christmas.
Okay.
And the main deciding factor for me was I had a whole bunch of meat in the house. So I was like, perfect time to start. My mom brought spaghetti and meatballs over. We had it for Christmas, and I had made the meatballs, and she took it all home. I know.
Why?
When she took it, I was like, I didn't even ask. I was like, what is she doing?
And then she left for Florida.
It was an entire crock pot of spaghetti and meatballs. But then she came to my house 2 days later and brought it all.
Oh,
so I had all the spaghetti and meatballs.
Did you ask her about that?
No, I didn't. Surprise! No, but then I was like, man, I have these meatballs. I am prepped. I'm good to go. And so I just like jumped in, and it went really, really well. So like, just to preface everything, I feel like this year has been the year where I have actually started enjoying getting out of bed, and like I've been kind of going, like, if depression is moving this way, I've started like more like this. The last few weeks of 2024, it was like that. And so even just the ability, like the fact that I could do this and that I've done it for this long, the carnivore, is amazing. But anyways, so back to the getting out of bed. So the first like 2 or 3 days, I could feel such a difference in my body because I was eating so much more protein and fat. I think fat is a huge thing. I was eating so much more of that.
Fat.
You want fat. You want good fats though,
okay.
Like high fat, high protein. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I started having more energy, and so I wasn't like crashing at 3. I think I told you this too.
Yes.
I wasn't crashing at 3.
That's
I could like keep going till like 6:30 or something. And when I woke up in the morning, I actually wanted to get out of bed instead of like dragging myself out of bed because I know that I need to get out of bed for my kids and family. So that was just amazing. And like my brain, I just felt more focused, and I felt like I had more clarity. It's wild.
I love
that was amazing. And then I started doing walks every morning with the boys because we're homeschooling, so everybody knows. And we're trying to
support.
Yeah. 100%. We're trying to find a rhythm that works for us, but I felt so rushed during the days where we just got to get it done. We got to get it done. But the last couple of weeks, I've been wanting to take my time more. So we'll kind of follow a rhythm of the day instead of like an hour by hour, strict schedule. Yeah, and it's been working really well. So we get up and we go for a walk to the park. Get out of the house, go to the park. I walk around. The boys make it about 1 lap, and then because it's cold right now, so then they complain. So I just told them to go in the truck, and then I just walk by myself.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know. And so
it's weather ain't for them, and it ain't for me.
Exactly. It's not for them. So also right after Christmas, I got sick. So I was doing this and getting sick at the same time, like carnivore, getting sick, starting these walks, these routines, getting our house ready to sell.
Oh, we have to talk about that.
Yes, jumping back into homeschool, like doing all of the things. And in the past, and not the very far away past, when I don't feel good, I totally spiral. Like I use it as an excuse or like something to make myself feel good about myself to just veg and like lay in bed and all those things.
When you say veg, what are you vegging? Like food, or are you watching shows?
No, watching shows. Just becoming a vegetable. Like you just watch shows. You just slouch.
Yeah.
So, that's not a bad thing. It's good to take care of your body and rest. Totally.
Okay.
But when you have struggled with depression in the past and then you don't feel good, it feels so similar. And so it can like almost trigger that. And you're like, oh, I'm depressed again. No, you're just sick. Like, get out of bed. No, just kidding. There's so much. Just kidding. Just kidding. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. But, okay, I'm rounding this out, I promise.
No, I love it.
But there was this one time when we were at the park.
This is just us. We love details.
Yeah, we do. Oh my God, so many details. Yeah. Ugh. I have to tell 6 stories just to get the one story out. I have to.
I support it.
So I'm not feeling well. I still am excited to get out of bed. This is saying a lot. Like I feel like this is saying so much.
It is.
And so I'm at the park and I'm walking around. The boys are in the truck and I'm on my last lap and I'm just bawling because I'm like, what is happening? I'm out of bed. My head feels like shit right now, which there was nobody else at the park.
Thank God someone comes up and like, are you okay?
Coughing on them.
Oh my God.
No, I did. Like my head, it was stuffy, but I was away from people.
Yeah.
It was like 20 degrees. Trust me, there was nobody at the park.
Oh my gosh. How early was this?
But not very early.
Okay.
8.
Okay. That's dang early.
It's fine. Yeah, 8 to 9.
It could
I
have
don't
been
know.
6. So yeah.
It could have been 6. But yeah, just bawling because like I just never thought that I was gonna feel this good again. Ever. Like ever.
Did you journal this?
I don't know that I did.
Because I think you should.
I should journal this.
I love that.
I can't remember if I did or not. I guess that's kind of how I'm ending my 2024. Also, we're ending with like huge change, or we're beginning 25 with huge change.
Tell us about it.
So we're moving closer to Amanda, which is so exciting.
So exciting.
Yes, a lot closer to Middlefield than what I thought.
I should
we
probably
were going
clarify,
to be.
or maybe you should clarify. It is very exciting for me, but for
Mhm.
you, it's bittersweet.
It is bittersweet. That's the perfect word for it. I'm so excited, but at the same time, like sometimes I'm like just freaking out.
It is huge change. You guys are like going.
It is
so
huge change, yeah. And
Tell us
also,
about it.
Okay, so we're going to sell.
I really want to talk about this because I'm really excited.
Listen, we're going to sell our house and we're going to move into a camper, and we're going to pull that camper onto my mom and dad's property. No,
which I think is so awesome.
It will be awesome.
Partially because it'll make it so that you can move sooner rather than later.
Right? Yes, because otherwise, I don't even know it would take a miracle. But also, I don't want to be rushed in finding a property.
Yeah,
like
100%. You want it to be the perfect place.
I can't
especially if you're going to build.
Yes, especially which that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to live by my mom and dad because I have not done that in like the last 8 years.
You haven't ever done
8 or
it
9
with kids,
9
right?
years. No, never. Not since we got married, and it'll be 9 years next month.
Okay. Should I interrupt now
or
should I wait?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if I can keep this in. I have to talk to your mom about it first. But because it's so funny. So we were talking about this in Florida. I had the best time with your mom. And the whole time, I will say this, the whole time that I was with your mom, I was like, it's not 100% perfect because it was my mom, your mom, and me. It would have been 100% perfect if you would have been there.
That's
Anyways,
so sweet.
She was talking about how she feels like it might be a little bit hard for her sometimes knowing that you're here and not at her house.
She told me that. Like, here. Yes.
And I was like, Gina, you have to share Nikki with me. Like, you have to.
Yeah.
That one day that you were at her house, it was a Sunday, and you guys left.
Yeah.
And you guys came over here. That bothered her so much.
She didn't love that.
Yeah.
She had made food.
You laughed that she made food. I mean, bring the food with you at least. Just kidding.
I know. That's so funny.
Anyways, okay, so you're moving into a camper on your mom's property.
Yeah, on my mom's property.
While, okay, what were you saying? I feel like I interrupted.
I don't know. No, that's okay. That's how we do. So that's mainly the change. Right now we're like purging our house, and I'm trying to get ready. The next couple of weeks, ready to sell the house. And then the next couple of weeks, I want to slowly like limit our items to where it will be like the items that we'll have in the camper. So one pan, like one large pot, like few plates, just to kind of see what's going on.
Have you looked into like any camper styles that you like?
Yes. So I love the ones that have the one that we are obsessed with right now. It has a master bedroom or like a bedroom.
Okay.
And then it has two bunk spaces. So it's one more private space, and then there's a bunk on this side and a bunk on that side, I think. So nice. Yes, but what we would do is actually I think there's like 2 bunks on this side and then 1 bunk on that side, and we would take out the 1 bunk and make a cute little area for the kids. Like and then they would just use the 2 bunks. Yeah.
I love that.
So we like that. And then there's like a little, like living space, a kitchen, and then a couch, and I think it has like a little dining area.
Are you like nervous at all about lack of space in there, or do you not care about stuff like that? Because I feel like you guys have always kind of been the type of people that would be okay in a camper.
Right.
Because we've talked about this before. You guys had bought a camper and you were going to renovate it, and then
that was to sell though, because that was really small. That was tiny. That was like the length of this room probably.
Okay.
But not the width of it, like more narrow. But yeah, that was just one of my projects that did not go well. Yeah, so we've wanted to do that, and I get in the past I've gotten overstimulated very quickly by stuff. So we've already
Same.
like purged tons of stuff from our house over the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like cut down our toys. Our kids have way less toys than like an average household, and that's mainly because I don't want to clean their shit up. Like if they can't clean it up, they can't have it.
I like that. I support that.
So, yeah. But I am worried about space. I'm worried about like making this decision and then like after a month being like, we can't do this. Which honestly, we have like a backup plan. It will be okay.
What's your backup?
We'll just find a rental.
Okay.
Or like an apartment. Like that's not it's not that horrible.
The nice thing about it is that it's end of February, beginning of March.
Yes.
So then it's like how many months until it's going to be warm in Ohio?
Right, yeah.
So then they can be outside, you can be outside, and you have your mom's house.
Exactly.
You have my house.
Yeah. We've got so many houses. We're going to go to the library.
You only have 2 houses. Just remember that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Even when you have your own, you still only have 2, my house and your mom's house.
I was going to say, we're not getting rid of all of our stuff. So I've been like reading blog posts about this and about moving into a camper and with kids. And this one family did it. They were a family of 4 and they had 2 dogs. And they did it. They started with a larger camper though.
Who is this?
I can't remember their name.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not somebody I follow on Instagram. It was just a blog.
Oh, it was a blog.
I read. Okay. But if I find it, I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect. I love
because it
like
was
that.
Very helpful. I will send that. It was very helpful, and then you can like link it.
Love.
So and she said this was so like such a God moment that I found that blog post because she said that they had so many emotional ups and downs during the like prepping stage of getting ready to move in the camper, and I feel that so much because some days Arlen and I are both like, this is going to be amazing. We are so excited to not have stuff. We take care of stuff. We use so much time taking care of stuff, and there will be a time for that again. Yeah, so we get really excited about that, and then the next moment we're like, what are we even doing? This is terrifying. Like we're basically going to be like living outside. And Arlen has sworn that his family lived in a double wide for years, and it was cute. It was cozy. Like they took care of it very well. But this man is like pretty big, and like all of his brothers also pretty big. Like and he swore he would never live in another trailer. And here we are moving into a camper. It's way smaller than a double wide. So I'm interested to see like how long he'll last. Yeah. So sometimes we freak out. But
which I don't blame you because it is so different from what you're used to.
Yes.
Also, I think you should definitely be like somehow keeping us up to date on how it's going. Like including like your process of getting rid of things. I feel like that would be so interesting for people to see that. Like
I should.
I don't know how you feel about just pulling out a camera, just starting to record exactly what you're doing.
I should do that. You gave me a freaking camera.
Oh yeah,
your black one. You use that for YouTube, right?
Yeah,
I'll try it. I might wait to post stuff. So here's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
Yeah.
Is that like, which would be amazing anyways, is like we'll find something that we love and we'll move into that instead of the camper. And then I'll have like all
which would be a dream.
Which would it would honestly be great.
Yeah.
It would be kind of sad though because I am in this moment right now. I'm excited. To live in a camper. But
anyways, it's an adventure.
It is an adventure.
Yeah.
I love an adventure. So I should.
Okay, but even if you found a house, do you think that house would be ready to move into by February? End of February?
True. I don't know.
Dude, you know what I just thought about? We're both going to be transitioning so hard in February because I'm transitioning into that new location.
You are completely?
Yes.
It's about time.
Thank you. That's okay. I'm glad you gave it to me. You're hot. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll be transitioning and you'll be transitioning. Yay! And also with a new my new transfer, it gives me more time because every day I have to drive 30 to 40 minutes depending on traffic to work and then home.
Yeah.
Now it'll be 5 minutes. So if you'd be like, Amanda, come over for dinner, I'll be there in 10, you know? Whereas before, Amanda, come over for dinner, it was like, I'll be there in like 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, yeah, get ready. 2 hours.
So it's good.
Exaggeration.
And now it won't be like that.
I can't even think about this because I get too excited.
I know.
It's going to be a whole new world.
2025 is our year. Can we just like say
it
that?
is our year. Cheers.
Cheers with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
Cheers with. 2025.
Cheers.
Yes.
Mm.
Mine definitely needs more sugar.
Mine is perfect.
I'm gonna add more sugar so I can enjoy it. Did you get a word for 2025?
I did. Did you want to go first?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, so let me just get my book out. So I'm going to start this by saying that I need to send you the link. We'll put this link on too.
Okay.
So the church that we go to, my uncle is a pastor, and he had a sermon 2 Sundays ago. And it was about, he was doing Psalm 16. It was amazing. It was so good. And I literally heard God speaking to me through the sermon. And I feel like he does that so often when Matt is preaching because they're just so good.
We love that.
And I feel like he hadn't given me a word yet, but he was giving me like questions for the year. And the one verse that is like the main part of the sermon was Psalm 16:11, and it's basically that God is saying that I think it was David was saying that God will not, like, he's not going to hide the path of life from you. Like, he knows it and he'll make it known to you. And which is so good. And then like during that, so I'm hearing these 3 questions, and here is what they are. So during 2025, Matt said 2025 is all about God. So I was like, and this is something that I've been processing because I'm like, okay, it's all about God. Yeah, that sounds great. But then like, what's the practical part about that? Like, I still have to live my day. I still have to take care of my kids. Like, sometimes it's all about my kids. Like, how does this even work? And the first question is, what is God doing? And the second question, well, I'll describe that one first. So what is God doing? I feel like so many times, like I've really struggled with social anxiety like the last couple of years. There are many different kinds of social anxiety. So the one that I struggled with was very like self-focused. And I'm not saying that in a hateful way. I'm saying that in a way where like I didn't want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to say anything that would hurt someone, or I also didn't want to look stupid. So I didn't want to say something that would make me look stupid. Like sometimes I would forget what to do with my hands. Like I'm just standing there. I'm like, what's my face doing? What are my hands doing? Like I don't even know how to be a person right now. So then that gives me a lot of anxiety going out. But this question changes that, because when you say, what is God doing in this moment? It suddenly becomes this like the world just like opens up. Like there's so many plans, there's so many things going on. You have like 5 people in a room, that's 5 different lives. That's like 10 different like game plans there, like it's so much. It takes the focus off of me, and it's like, oh, God is actually doing something way bigger than me. Nobody cares what my hands are doing. Like, yeah. So that's the first question. The second one is, what would love do? Just in the instance of like taking care of my body or my friends or my family or something. And then the third one is, what am I chasing right now? And I actually just used this one a few days ago, and it just like was the sweetest moment, where I asked that question and to myself, and then I listed everything that I'm chasing. And like one of them was, business success, or I should find it in here. I can't remember what all of them are.
I love this so much. Yeah, and I might steal some of it.
Do it. So, and the retreat coming up. So like I have goals for this retreat, and I so badly want to meet those. So that, and just all the goals that I have with the carnivore diet, like I'm chasing so many things, Mm-hmm. I'm like basically serving those things. They have become like, not to be harsh, but like gods to me basically, and I'm chasing after them. And so I said that, and then I went through every single thing, and I just envisioned in my mind like me just handing them to God. And I did it individually. When I did that, he gave me ideas. So like when I gave him the retreat, in return, he gave me ideas for funding, ideas for like just the process, like word for word, beautiful technical details, financial details. Like it was beautiful. So I did that. And then this is all happening within like 30 minutes too. Like it was crazy.
That's insane. That's when you also know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. When God is like moving you along.
Well, even just thinking about like the last retreat that you did last year, and like the success, even me just showing up and being able to help you out with that, just being a bystander or whatever you want to call that, because I didn't technically like pay to be part of the retreat, it was still so transforming for me. Like I still had such a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And the whole time, I know we talked about this a little bit, but the whole time I was like, this is when you know, like I just felt like this is when you know, like Nikki is meant for this moment. I think I told you that.
I think you did, and I think other people said it too. And I remember thinking, like, that was a very long journey, like planning that retreat and just the whole, like, when you're planning something and selling tickets for something and you're investing in it, it's
and
like
other people are investing in it.
And other people are investing in it. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to drop the ball. And so that is terrifying. And I remember people saying that, and I was like, oh shit, I'm going to have to do another one. God is going to ask me to do another one.
He's going to ask me, and
I know. I'm going to be scared all over again. Yeah.
Oh, but I love that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get like too deep on you right now and like too, uncomfy, make you too uncomfy, but it like, oh my gosh, it's just so cheesy. But sometimes it's like, wow, this is such an, and I told your mom this when we were in Florida. It just feels like such an honor that I get to like be a part of this. Like,
I get that though.
You do?
I get that. Not.
What do you mean?
I believe that you feel honored to be with me. No. I get the feeling about like being honored, and sometimes I think I'm just like with me, I feel like it's just a little bit of like not fear, but like almost like holding it like reverently. Like, do we really actually get to be involved with like loving on people or like creating beautiful things? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
what were you meaning?
I know, I love that. That's actually so beautiful, because I'm saying it's an honor that I get to be part of it, that you are allowing me to be part of it. But you are saying, no, what you're saying is incredible, because you're saying it's an honor for you that God is like giving this gift to you. No? Am I misinterpreting it? Because it sounded like what you were saying.
No, I mean, that is what I was saying.
It literally sounded like that's what you were saying.
I think that is what I was saying.
It's such a gift.
Yeah.
Like what God has given you.
I know.
And you're using it. Even though you're scared. Okay, hear that.
Scared all
Even
the time.
though she's scared shizzless, she is doing it.
All the time she is scared.
On all the time she will push through, and all the time she will do it.
Yes. Also, I feel like now that we're on this, it's been so interesting because like I feel like there's a whole nother direction for my business, and we can talk about that some other time. Next edition episode.
I'm very excited. Yeah. We're definitely gonna have to talk about it off camera because I want to know. But Arlen's just gonna have to wait until we haven't seen each other in a long time.
I know. Okay, rounding that out. So I had the 3 questions, and then Arlen and I prayed together, and we're asking God for just a word. And he got his words, and then my word was vision. And immediately I thought, that can't be right, because I had just been talking to my sister-in-law about making vision boards. So I was like, oh, it's just it's just my brain. But then I looked it up, and I have been like, this goes right along into it, because I've been like begging God to, not begging, but kind of begging.
Desperately asking.
Yeah. Him to just like show me who he is. I can't find it on here, but to show me who he is so I can know if it's him that I'm listening to or if it's not, or I can know like which direction, or I can just, if he would walk by me on the street, like I would recognize him, And so, and then when I was like looking up the definitions of vision, I just felt him tell me it's to like see him clearly. To see God clearly in 2025. And I feel like I have been experiencing that already. I know. It's wild.
I love that so much for you, because I feel like one of the things that you struggle with a lot, and you tell me if I'm wrong, okay, is discerning whether or not it's your voice or God's voice. And then your brain gets so cluttered.
Yes.
And then you're like, I don't know what, I have no idea. Because you have so many things, because you're like, well, was it actually God?
Yeah. No, that is so accurate.
I literally feel like that's insane that you're saying that. Like, that's your word for the year.
Isn't it amazing?
Okay.
So, like, I think it is amazing because it also goes really well with the questions. Because not only is am I going to see, or am I seeing him clearly? Because I have been already seeing him clearly, but also, like, he's giving me these 3 questions to, like, check myself. Like, not in a bad way, in a, like, helpful, wonderful way. Yes. And, okay, what time is it? I don't want to talk too long because I want to hear what you have to say, too. But I have a little story, too.
Yeah, I want to hear everything.
So, 7:20. Oh, So I had this moment where, and like, okay, this is where Amanda and I are different, is like you have more things that like you stay away from because you feel convicted to. Does that?
Yeah.
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I do. I'm usually just like out here like willy-nilly. And then like usually I pay for it later. Don't read smut.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Don't even ask. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna look it up though. No, I'm just kidding.
It's book porn, basically. Remember? I thought we talked about this.
Wait, no, I don't know.
It's like all the
Oh, smut is like a genre.
Well, no, it's like a street word for, it's like slang for like, yeah, sexy books. Steamy books would probably be a better word for it.
Okay.
Love them, by the way.
Oh my god. I do not.
No. Don't even start.
Oh man, that's
Bridgerton.
so funny.
Bridgerton is almost smut. It's not, but it's almost.
Okay.
Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so I started watching a TV show that I watched when I was growing up. And I have been so bored with TV lately. So I started this one again. And Arlen hates it. There's some stuff in there. I'm not even going to say what's in there, but there's some stuff in there that like he just hates. It's not smut, okay? So I'd still be watching it. No, just kidding.
I cannot with you right now.
So I've just kind of watched on my own, and I was like, well, whatever. I didn't feel any guilt. I didn't feel like I should turn this off or anything like that. I was fine. I was watching it while I was folding laundry. I don't even know how long ago. And all of a sudden, I just felt this like nudge in my stomach. Like it was just a little bit of like an ick. And I was like, oh, I think that's God. And I think it's the Holy Spirit. And I don't think that I should be watching this. Like, I could have watched it. I could have watched the whole thing. You know, like I have free will. I would still have been loved. 100%. I still would have been like whatever, thriving. But like maybe, I don't know. I don't even know what could have happened, but I turned it off and I've been fine ever since. I haven't wanted to go back to it. Nothing like that. Something similar happened to me when I was listening to a book, and all of a sudden I was just like, just had that feeling again. And it was not a novel. It was like a self-help book. I love those. And yeah. Same. And I stopped reading it. And I think like that feels like clarity to me. Like that feels like seeing God. Yes. Okay. I think that's
okay. I'm going to start off with something that kind of is a little bit like how yours is. One thing to be very clear about is no matter how close you are to your best friend, it is okay to not do things the same way, to not believe things the same way, and to still love each other deeply and equally. So in saying that, I have been thinking about how like what goes in comes out. So for 2025, I felt like one of the things that God was asking me to do was maybe you're not going to like this. Just kidding.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Was like maybe clean up the things that I watch. Where you like binge on reading or whatever you call that, where you read a ton.
Yeah.
So I binge on shows. If I'm depressed, if I'm sad, if I'm trying to get out of my feels, I go to shows. If I'm watching shows that are promoting something that I would never like live in my life, that I would never do in my life, shows where it's just very raunchy, like that's going in somewhere and that's settling in somewhere. That's what I feel like the Holy Spirit was showing me. And so that also is building something then, and it's creating something in my heart and in my mind. And I felt like God was saying, like, just try to, I don't know, not watch some of the stuff that you usually like gear towards. One of the shows that I was watching, I'm just going to be honest and I'm just going to say it, but we drove to Florida and back. So one of the shows that I was watching is Gossip Girl. And that's kind of a little bit of like a raunchy show. And I've actually seen, I think, all of Gossip Girl when I was like 16.
I know, because I think you told me and I was shocked.
Yeah. And I enjoy stuff like that. not necessarily all the scenes, but just stuff like that where it's like, I would never live my life like that. These are rich people.
Yeah.
It is so interesting.
Yeah.
I love some parts of bad trash TV, like Kardashians, because it is like a life that I will never live. Okay. That's so one part of 2025. I'm still going to watch some Ted Lasso. You know what I'm saying?
What you're saying.
Ted Lasso is fantastic. Okay. My word for 2025 is actually shared with Eric.
Oh, wow.
So, on Sunday, I was feeling, I think I mentioned this on my Instagram, where 2025 feels very scary for me. I broke off those agreements that I made with Eric. He prayed with me. We broke those agreements off because I was scared that 2025 would be the same as 2024. I'd be struggling majority of the time. You know, we want to have a baby and we still don't have a baby, and family stuff and work stuff. Yeah. I mean, my job ain't called fun, but Eric and I were praying. When Eric was praying with me to break off the things that I was believing about 2025, it's so important for me to have fun. And I'm always, if I'm not having fun, I'm always planning the next fun thing. Yeah. And it didn't feel like that was going to satisfy me. So 2025 felt even more scary. Yes. So when we were breaking off these agreements, Eric felt God say desire to him and said, I want you to desire me more than you desire to have a baby. It doesn't take our desire for a baby away, which I feel like this is something that God has been telling us from the start of us trying to have a baby. Just, I want you to want me more than you want a baby, because a baby's not going to like fix all of our problems. Right. It will like give us life in a different way, but it's not going to like make our pain go away. You know? No. So desire is our word together for desiring God more than the things that we want in our hearts, which it would be a baby for us. Yeah. The thing is that's crazy about this is that we don't feel like we're in a rush. With my job, we feel like we are doing what God has called us to do in this season. Right. And we feel peace about that. But it's almost like we get into our emotions and in our feels, and then we get distracted. Yeah. And we take our eyes off God and what He has for us in this season. Yeah. And then it's a little bit of a spiral. Yeah. Now, in saying that, the other day too, I was laying in bed and I was just like, God, I feel really, really sad right now. Because it would be a dream to just be laying here with our baby. Yeah. And God said, it's okay to be sad. Like, just because I've given you a different purpose in this season doesn't mean, or however you want to word that, God's not withholding this from us. We don't believe that at all. But just because we don't have a baby and God is giving us other opportunities while we wait, doesn't mean that we're not allowed to be sad. And He said, I want to sit in this sadness with you. And I just started sobbing. And it was just like He was validating that sadness. Yeah. So, yeah. Desire for 2025. Wow. Another thing, which I talked with you about this, is that I also want to have a year of where and I think I talked about this on my Instagram story a little bit, where I'm like learning and like learning more, but in a fun way. So every month I have a new thing that I'm going to be learning. So this month I'm going to learn how to ski. We're actually going on Saturday and we're recording the whole thing.
Oh, that is so
I told
fun.
my friends that are coming with us, which you were supposed to be one of those friends, but you ditched on me, which is fine, that they're going to have to record me because I'm skiing, so I won't have any hands.
That is true.
So it'll be interesting.
You need to get a GoPro.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to find one because I need one, but I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on a GoPro.
I think, you should just borrow it from someone. I know.
But then if I break it.
That's true.
Because this girl's going to fall.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I'm doing this month. And then I don't have all my months planned out yet, but February I had something and I can't remember what it is.
Shoot.
One of the months I'm crocheting. Oh,
that's cool.
I am going to do pottery. I'm going to take pottery classes.
Sweet.
I don't have much else.
I love that.
For 2025.
Oh, I listened to this. I think is it Andy Womack or something like that? I don't know. He's a preacher.
No idea.
He's fairly old. Used to be like one of those preachers on radio and television. I think he's still on TV. I don't know. But anyways, I listened to one of his sermons about imagination. And he was saying that imagination is like this incredible gift from God. And it's where like it's what happens before you see something in like the, what's the word? The physical form. So like God imagined light and then he said light and there was light. So he saw it inside of him first and called it out. And like there's like other examples that he says in the sermon. And it just made me think, like, when you were saying that, it's like what you're watching, what you're seeing, you replay that in your mind, whether you, like subconsciously, whether you think it or not, it comes in, it stays in, and then like it could create it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's something that, okay, so that's like, you know, the negative. The positive is like using that in your life, like, you know, dreaming big of all of these beautiful, amazing things that God has like put on your heart that you really want to do or you want to try, and like fun things or, you know, life-changing things, and to like imagine them. And I don't know, it was a very cool sermon.
I love that.
Very awesome.
You should tell me what that sermon was.
Yeah.
Because when you were saying that, it also reminded me of like one of the reasons why I believe that God wants me to step into this is because I become the character that I'm watching the most.
Oh, wow.
And even like when I remember growing up, I used to get so frustrated with myself because I would easily see myself turning into the person that I was hanging out with the most. I can be comfortable with being myself and walking that with boldness, and then when I'm hanging out with someone, not turning into them. But even like shows where the character is like super mean and aggressive, like I can watch that show for an hour, walk away, and then go and be mean and aggressive to Eric. Yeah. So that's partly too like a little bit why like I feel like God is asking me to like be more aware of the things that I'm putting in. Well, maybe end it with like information on the upcoming retreat, like whatever you want to say to like keep them like wanting more.
This year's retreat it's going to be open to more women. Last time we had a very small group, which was so intimate and so wonderful. This year we're going to have one speaker, and she's going to do 3 sessions, and there's going to be a lot more free time. It's 2 nights this year instead of 1. It's going to be great. It's going to be very like personal. We're going to try and personalize everything we possibly can. We want to know, like, after you buy your ticket, the tickets will go for sale in maybe April, I think, and the retreat is in September. And
it's like so far away.
It does. It's like 9 months. It's like 8.5 months.
But we'll be thankful for the time.
We need the time. Yeah, we need the time to like prep and everything. After you buy the ticket, then I'll send you a questionnaire and you fill it out, and it just lets us know about you, so that when you walk in, like, we can take such good care of you, which is what we did last year, and it was amazing. And right now I posted on my Instagram an actual post, and it's where you can go on and guess what the theme of the retreat is this year. Last year it was the art of rest. This year Are you saying? I'm not going to say exactly what it is.
Okay.
That would have been a good idea, though. But no, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, I was surprised. I was like, wait, what?
No, I need more time.
Yeah,
but I'm going to give a hint. So it's super, super important. That's my hint. Good luck. No.
So air.
Yeah. Water.
Food.
It's just going to be a bunch of bath time.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
But it is. It is. Once you know what it is, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that is super important.
Yeah,
but it's
instead of
last year was the art of rest, and this year it is the art of blank. So,
and it's important.
It's super important. I'll give little like hints about the speaker too. This year the speaker is somebody who has done video series. She's somebody who has been all over the world, lived in so many different parts of the world. And her and her husband, their ministry has like completely changed my life. That is,
and my life as well. Listen, there might be more of conversations like this, and there might not be. We'll see. We hope.
We don't want to stop.
I know, this is really fun.
It is.
I'm
really
actually
fun.
like really enjoying myself.
Cheers to 2025.
Cheers to 2025.
Amen.
And to Jesus and all the things He's going to teach us.